So, this story begins on a Monday in Fargo, North Dakota. Me, an unemployed 38-year-old man who has never had a job in his life, aka your average Joe, was going to pick up my unemployment check, welfare check, and social security. Today, unlike most days, were very unique, since I get to go eat more fast food and go to my favorite store, Micro Center. After I shoved my face full of KFC, I suddenly got a call from my wife begging for more money. Silly me to forget my wife needs $500 from me to give me the bestie sex tonight. I was headed to the Micro Center and went to go buy some more Steam gift cards as I don't need money for anything else. I spotted with my little eye something very valuable though. It was a hentai figure only priced at $20 that says cursed on the price tag. Must be some funny prank since Halloween is over and they must not need it anymore. When I gathered everything, one of the Micro Center employees came towards me and said, "Sir, that doll you have in your hands is cursed." For which I responded, "Impossible, it's not a doll, it's one of my future waifus for Odin's sake." After a bunch of arguing, I was headed out of the Micro Center and was headed to my mom's car, which she drives. Moments later, I rushed as fast as I humanly can to my PC in the basement, then started redeeming away all of my Steam gift cards. Was browsing the Steam store, and after a few hours, I realized I might have did something very stupid by buying those Steam gift cards. I decided to give back to the unfortunate, that being my Indian friend Rayesh Kuthrapali. I asked him if he wanted the Steam gift cards and he responded with, "I am not a scammer, you racist fuck," which is not what I thought he would say since he usually asks for a lot of stuff on Steam. After a while just sitting on my computer with 500 in my Steam wallet, Steam recommends me a game since I am a big fan of Nakapura and many other visual novels hinting at romance and lust. The name of it surprises me at first, for I thought it was another one of those horror games that barely scare me. The name of the game was called The Coffin of Andy and Laylee, which seemed pretty boring until I bought it. Out of pure boredom, I open the game and I see the characters that look the same, only their eyes and hair differ them. After a few hours of playing, I realized it wasn't that bad of a game, really hoping that the two violently fuck each other sometime, although they are brother and sister. I reached what seemed to be a to be continued cliffhanger, and I was already at my 73rd blank of the day. I wake up at 3 in the morning after my 3-hour nap and my phone is hot and shaky with notifications coming from my wife stating our relationship is over and that I am a sick fuck. Turns out I forgot to turn off my computer, leaving the Coffin of Andy and Laylee on. When I woke up my computer after it fell asleep, my Steam wallet was empty and it seemed I had a pending Patreon purchase for Kitten Eye Studios. There is when I realized that I did not do any of this and that someone or something is nearby and looking to ruin my perfectly fine life. I got up and tripped on my underwear since I forgot to pull my underwear back up, and then rolled over to my side, in which I saw the hentai figure I got from the Micro Center. There I saw that it wasn't any ordinary figure, but it was actually Ashley Graves from, you guessed it, The Coffin of Andy and Laylee. I looked right into its eyes and it started to speak to me in a little girl's voice that seemed very familiar. "Stop being unemployed and obese, or you will die very miserably." I think I had a little too much monster energy that the crash may have caused hallucinations. I called for my sweet mother and there was no response. But then came out someone that looked like a twink with thigh highs and a cute little skirt. That being my twink neighbor, who then walked out of my house with my mother's belongings, which were very valuable. I turned to look at the old TV ahead of me, and it has turned out that my mother, in her favorite chair, was raped and shot to death. Which then at the moment I then hear a bunch of sirens of police cars heading my way, shocked that they might see the murderous mess my neighbor has created. I then try and rush down the stairs as the siren started to sound even more near, and that's when I go into my secret area not even my mom knows about, and hid for a few minutes. That's when the search dogs started barking and biting at my location, and the police found me due to me smelling like bacon and cheese. I tried to tell them I did nothing, but all I heard was, "Don't worry, we won't shoot you. We are going to keep you arrested." I am currently writing this note to my ex-wife, which I hope is doing better than I am rotting in a prison cell.
I don't know how to begin telling this story since it was a very traumatic experience, but it was a cold night in December in the city of Gdansk, Poland. This wasn't any ordinary night, for it was the night before Christmas Eve. I, a femboy twink who has just got home after another day of letting taller and more dominant guys use my bussy as a milk donation center. I felt I was refueled and decided I should go into Poland Walmart to buy my little brother and boyfriend something for Christmas. I came out of the store with a cart full of gifts for them. As I got home, my brother came to the door asking where I've been all day since my boyfriend loves to beat us, and mostly him since he is so annoying and less twink-like than me. I came in with everything wrapped up and said I had to look for gifts. We didn't have much gifts since both our mom and our dad has passed away in the Chernobyl zombies disaster in Black Ops 6. We usually depend on Santa Claus to give us gifts, but he never delivered. I go and wake up my boyfriend, and he greets me with a blow to the face as usual. Boy, do I love him. Then asks me what do I want, and not just that, he called me his bitch. I was so filled with dopamine and happiness from his cute name he calls me that I came thrice. After all, this was another boring day of doing things such as Christmas traditions and me and my boyfriend doing a lot of reproducing, although I can't get pregnant and he thinks I'm a girl. My brother then snaps and tries to fight my boyfriend, in which he almost landed a hand on him. I nearly cried and kicked my little brother out of the house and decided to comfort my boyfriend, who had hurted his fist from how many times he punched my brother's face. We slept on the bed we have lots of breeding on, and there I went. Before I fell asleep, the news said that a guy known as Davian Blessing, which his rape name is Dave Blunts, had clutched the Gulag after his heart attack in 2025 and is landing in Poland. Although I thought nothing bad could happen, since nothing bad ever happens, since our Prime Minister would never let this happen, I was wrong. Dave Blunts had raped 20 people and is still clutching up the rapes he couldn't do. At midnight, I got a knock on the door, thinking it was my brother. That's where I was wrong, for my brother would be crying, and it was not the police, for they would have told me to open up already. I heard the man at the door breathing hard while he said, and I quote, "Can't put down the cup, can't put down the cup," sipping on that promethazine. If I vaguely remember, Dave Blunts once said in the Cup song, "Can't put down the cup, I can't put down the cup," sipping on promethazine. In shock, I tried pretending I wasn't there, but he then said in a demonic voice, "Open up, big boy, I know you are in there." Not saying nothing, he stood there for a minute until he started tackling my door as if he was the FBI with the door ram. I panicked and tried to find an area to hide so his big ass wouldn't find me and brutally molest my sweet Twinkie hole. I decided it was a good enough idea to hide under the couch cushions with my last brain cells, and he succeeded in breaking the door down. That's when Dave Blunts started to sip his cup, in which he never put down. Then went straight to my refrigerator to find the goods, in which he didn't, since my refrigerator was filled with estrogen gummies and Pepto-Bismol soup. That's when he got angry and started running through the house looking for femboys to rape. Then he found my boyfriend was sleeping on the bed across from the couch. Although not a twink-like build, he said, "This will do." My boyfriend wakes up to the wrath of Dave Blunts and starts screaming as Dave Blunts' meat glove covers his mouth and tells him it's going to be alright. I watch as his muffled screams and clapping sounds happen as Dave Blunts sings the cup. It was a horrifying scene seeing my boyfriend's starfish being used as a toy by Dave Blunts for Incher. After he was done, he then sat on the couch, in which I let out a blood-curdling scream, and he says, "Boo, what do we have here?" In which I am exposed and cannot run since my legs were crushed by his 1-ton body. He then violently rips my shorts off and reveals my Christmas present wrapped with a bow, that being my PP, and then he looks at me staring into my eyes with his purple Prometheus-sized eyes while slowly going down into my bussy and eating it better than any man has done to me. He ate it as if Thanksgiving is still happening and wouldn't stop until I came. Then he stole my boyfriend's soul, and that's when my boyfriend became a soulless zombie and would never beat me again. The following day, I lost my brother to Poland Child Services, and my boyfriend went to jail for domestic and child abuse. That Christmas was one very lonely Christmas, and not just that, but Dave Blunts has left Poland that night and went back to America to make another hit single called I Love Femboys and Can't. Put down the bus, making it the loneliest Christmas I've ever had. After writing this down, I will end my life,